on, make sure that they're good, make sure they're positive, and make sure they're going to have, be fruitful. Um, Lisa talked a lot about her dominant personality. And there was a point, like she said, where she was going to God and she was saying, okay, what's going on with me and how can I fix me? And at the same time, I'm going to God and I'm saying, okay, what is going on with my relationship? Because there are these attributes that my wife has that they're great, but they're also a detriment to our relationship. And that strong, willed personality was one of those things. It wasn't that I didn't love that she was strong-willed. I don't want her to be a doormat. But what I do want is I want it to be harmonious in our relationship. And I needed that. I needed to be coupled with, because I have a very passive aggressive personality. Like, I will be passive and passive and passive, and then I get to this point and I'm like a tea kettle ready to explode. And that's not good either. So, like, we weren't like oil and water didn't mix. We were like gasoline and fire. So, I mean, it really was. I'm telling you, our I am not. I'm embarrassed to talk about half of the things that we went through because they just weren't good. They just weren't. You know, they're not memories I want to rehash. So I'm not going to talk about them. But what I am going to talk about though is taking time to ensure that what you are looking for is good. Don't look for things that are going to have a negative impact in your relationship. Don't look for things that are just going to bring you to a place where, you know, you're just trying to find something to argue about or find something to disagree about. Habit number 3. Is it 4 already? That's why I got 3 minutes left. Apologize to one another. And my wife we had the conversation and she was talking about this and she was saying, walking in forgiveness and forgiving one another is essential, to your relationship with your spouse. But she was talking about true apology and how you have to be at a place of such humility and that it brings you to a place of such humility. And I can tell you, I've talked literally this entire time about all these things. So I've done a lot of apologizing. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of who I was. I'm proud of who I am today because I'm hunting the good stuff. I'm not choosing to think about, the man of God that I started out as, but the man of God I am today. Holy moly. All right. Number 5. Am I right? Pay each other compliments. You don't realize how important it is for your spouse. I know that a lot of people have probably read the 7 Love Languages book. And even though my wife's love language is not words of affirmation, I can tell you that it's important that you pay compliments or just it's not necessarily even a compliment, but recognizing the things that they are doing that are having an impact in your life. Something as insignificant as this. Every day, so when I get up in the morning, I take a shower and I get dressed. In my second drawer on the bottom left-hand side are my undershirts, and I wear an undershirt every day. And when I take out the undershirt and I unfold it like this and it drops, all I have to do is open it up and put it on. She folds the laundry in such a way that I don't have to fumble around in the dark and think, okay, is it on backwards? I got to flip it upside down. I got to turn it. I don't have to do that. And you say, well, it's folding laundry. But because she does that intentionally when she wants to, and she takes care of me, that's important to me. That's important. And it's important for me to recognize, better yet, that she is doing that and that I recognize, hey, I notice you're doing this. And you know what she said to me the other day? She's like, Every time I fold your shirts now, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. And I can tell you, that's not building strife. Bing, 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 bing. Exactly. That's exactly what it's building. I mean, I'm not on a point system, but I can tell you this. The actions, the things that I do throughout the day, the foreplay, it starts when I get out of bed, and it well, fireworks, baby. That's what happens. So I really, that it seems like a very insignificant story when I talk about the way she folds my laundry. But the reality is just recognizing something simple, recognizing that she does something that I'm aware of that means something to me. We're at number 6. Spend time together. Now, I know that a lot of women, that this is probably their love language. And it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter if you think it's insignificant. It doesn't matter. Again, sitting down and watching a show with my wife that she likes may not be something that is awesome to me, but she likes it, and therefore we do it. And that's okay. It's okay. But if the only time you get together is to do the horizontal polka, she's not fulfilled. And she feels like that's all she is to you, is an object of your desire. Ouch. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, we got a great example. I guarantee you, I'm not a betting guy, but I bet my life on this. I bet you Pastor Terry has seen more Lifetime movies than any woman in here minus Shantae. Hallmark, my bad. Strike that from the thing, actually. Lifetime's probably some smut or something, I don't know. Anyway, spend time together. It's important. It's important for you to grow together. It's important for you to have that quality time together, especially if you have kids, because the reality is that someday those kids are going to leave, and you're going to be looking at the person across the table from you, and you're like, what do I do with you? So, and I got to tell you, this was a tough one for me because I felt like I was sold a bad bill of goods. When I first met Lisa, I tell you what, we watched football, we watched basketball. She was into it. She loved it all. About the time we got married, I mean, we like the same music. I mean, I say we like the same music. Any music I put on at any volume was acceptable. We walked in the church, we walked out. I threw on the radio, turned it up to about 35, which was about 152 decibels. And she's like, oh, that hurts my ears. And I'm like, what happened to my wife? Where'd you come from? You don't want to watch basketball all night? Nope. We can't listen to the Yin Yang Twins? Nope. So believe me, this quality time, this spending time together, it didn't come easy for Chris. It didn't come easy at all. But I realized over time that it was important and it was valuable, and I had to put value on it. The last thing I want to tell you is something I read. A successful marriage requires falling in love many times with the same person. Today, we do have the wow marriage. Today, we have an absolutely great marriage. And you can have the wow marriage, and it doesn't have to be our wow marriage. It's being at a place where you have peace, and you can look back and look at the resiliency that you've come through and say, look, I was there and now I'm here. We were there and now we're here. Thank you very much.